The bad news is that we haven't hit the bottom.
Do you think that eventually this will become a political movement? And if the answer is yes, I'd like to put in my application to work for you. That's not a joke.
I have a daughter, and sometimes I do fear for her upbringing. I think I'm doing a fairly good job. I try and set, a good moral guideline for her to follow.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rucha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Also a sincere shalom to you other elders, you brethren, you followers of the truth, and let me say shalom to the elect. I want to go on the second part of this video. I got worked up watching the comments called the anti-feminist movement, Men at War, right? So there was quite a few comments, and I'll just, you kind of ramble with these things because there's so much that people say, and especially the women who will say that, well, we're going to say it like this. There's going to come a time where this isn't going to matter. You are getting away with all this that you're doing, it won't work in that day. You can believe that according to the scriptures, okay? And when you think you're getting away, yeah, you might be now, but there's going to be a time where these things that you say and these things that you live high on is all going to be brought low, all right? And the feminists, they're on the page, they're pissed off, right? Now, they was going into the sexual assaults, and the guy was saying that men sexually assaulted and raped and everything, and then the women are saying, well, that's men doing it to men. Now all of a sudden it's a sexual preference. Assault is assault no matter how you look at it. But I'll say this, and this probably happened to many other brothers in situations where you would go to a woman's house and she would jump you. Yeah, that had it happen to me quite a few times as a very young man. Older women, some younger women, right? So what about that? Wasn't that assault? But if a man jumps on a woman and grope or grab her, the flags go off. See how they get the pass? There's always the pass, right? You can go to any situation dealing with assault and the woman will get the pass every time. Why? Because as I read in the last video, Jeremiah, the 44th chapter, right? The Q and H, okay? It's the Q and H syndrome, okay? So anyway, I just want to, and you're going to be surprised because I'm going to read the scriptures that says train up a child. But I want to read this couple of comments because the man said that he was afraid in the society because of his daughter, right? Of what society is teaching her, okay? I mean, you can look at these movies, for rated G movies, and you can see, I'm just going to keep it clean, you can see what's in these movies, right? So he's concerned, and they want to keep it going, right? They want to keep it going. Now, it's kind of an oxymoron, so to speak, because you say to be feminist means to be feminine. That's what I thought. That's what I thought it meant. But where does the dominating part comes into it? Let me go to feminine. Let's see what it says here. Female characteristics of appropriate or unique to woman, right? Of relating to constitution of gender, or ordinarily includes most words being unstressed, right? And usually additional, final syllable after the final complete. Having unstressed, being unstressed. Okay, just basically feminine, conception, timeless. Okay, let's go to the online etymology. Let's get a little bit more understanding of what feminine is. It says, of the female sex, female, feminine qualities, effeminate, from Latin femineus, right? Literally, she who suckles, to suck. Proper characteristics of a woman, female, feminine, having qualities considered appropriate to a woman, effeminate, okay, unmanly. So, I mean, it goes on and on. Unmanly, let's go to effeminate. Womanish, voluptuous, tender, from Latin effeminatus, womanish, effeminate, okay. So basically, feminine goes to effeminate, she who suckles, to suck, which means voluptuous and tender, right? So I don't understand why they push that. Is that what they call it? I don't know. Let's go back here to the comments, and then I'll get, Lord's will, to the other part. Somebody said, I'm afraid of that man's daughter. I hope she can get out. Same, and then somebody said, same for boys who grew up with feminist mothers. Yes, the huge issue of feminist mothers trying to marry off sons at 18. Oh, please, women teach their boys to find someone who will love them and treat them well. And again, I have the problem with that. Again, this is what they do. All of a sudden now, you speak for all women. Now there's all women that do this. I have personal experiences with situation like that, I'll say that, where that is not a good place to be if you have a son. I'll say that. It's not a good idea, because you got to know that they're going to teach them the way they would want a man to be, and the way they would want a man to be is the one that rolls out the carpet. So basically, you're only building these young men up to be with somebody who can take advantage, okay? And it's real talk. That's what it is. And this is what they do. You know? I left a couple comments, but it's a whole lot of feminists on here, and they're blaming men for everything, and always the blame. Now all of a sudden they're innocent. But I got news for you. There's more or just as much sexual assault by women than it is men. In fact, young men will not speak of that, because in society, through the feminist role, they're taught that not to speak on those things, because you're a man and you're supposed to tough it up and you shouldn't speak on it, even though you tell them at a young age not to put their hands on a woman, even though a young lady can kick your ass just as much as yours her when you're very young. But they instill this in these young boys. They instill that in them to be tough, to be strong, right? When it comes against being abused. But then when they stand up and be tough and strong, and the woman beats their ass and they hit back, then all of a sudden they're punks. You know, you don't hit a woman. Shouldn't you know that? Shouldn't you know that if that's the case, that means you're not equal? They teach you that. But somehow with this movement, it teaches you, no, you are equal. I like to see them in the boxing ring on, you know, some hockey or something like that, and see how equal you really are. Okay. There's a lot I can't say, but I did pull out the scripture with in Genesis where Isaac took Sarah in the tent and took her. Right? Now, we're not saying to do that. We're not saying that at all. We're just saying that the society that we're in today is Western cultured. It's not the same. And you should want, and understand there is wicked men. And that's the problem, because you got men who will sit up there and lay with a woman and leave her and go somewhere else. If you knew, if you had a daughter and you knew that you could take this man, a man could take her, right? And he was bound by law to take care of her, and you didn't have to worry about her messing with anybody else. And it was him that would take care of her. I don't see what the problem would be. I'm saying in a righteous society. Anyway, let's go to Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right? So it says, train up a child in the way that he should go. Right? And so we get this in what is this? H2596. It says to train, to dedicate, inaugurate, meaning it's coming from right from the beginning. Train up. This is interesting. It says train up. Apparently, it says to rub the palate of a child, right? I guess up in the roof of the mouth. The midwife rubbed the palate of the newborn child with oil, etc., before it begins to suck. Dozy. Also make experience submissive. So it says to make experience and submissive. This is why you had a problem with the youth today. They passed the law back in the 70s. This is back in the 70s because I was adopted. They passed a law, and that's why my foster mother had to put me into another home, another facility. They passed a law that she was not allowed to put their hands on us no more, to discipline us, let's say that. And when she saw that, she said, nope, this is not for me. If I can't discipline a child, I won't do it. So you take 40-something years later, and then this is what you see. We can't discipline you. You can't discipline your child. Oh, but the prison will. The military will too. And that's something. Anyway, it says also make experience submissive, to make submissive, as one does a horse by a rope in its mouth. This is why Isaiah the 13th says, I will make man more precious than fine gold. Because he's going to raise up the elect in the way we think. And this is why when we go out there and teach, and even other Israelite groups, they had a problem with the way we think, or the way we bring out the scriptures of what happened in the past and how things are going to happen in the future. Right? They had a big problem with all that. But it happened. As Isaac did Rebekah. As Isaac did Rebekah. In fact, I'm going to probably read that again. This is Genesis 24:67. And Isaac brought her, talking about Rebekah, into the mother's tent, Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. Okay? And he loved her. Okay? Everything you see today is not what was then. Okay? Things are different. And this is the mindset of why Jake, all his aunt or sister or mother got to do is call them and say somebody did something to them. Then they're strapping up the guns, they're strapping up the bazookas, the AR-15s, all to go shoot Jake without even questioning what did this woman do. And then he'll kill her. He'll kill her husband, right? Or whoever was so-called messing with her, right? They'll go to prison, he'll be dead, and then she'll be on to do whatever else she's going to do and maybe repeat the process all over again. I witnessed that too. Okay, 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to the knowledge, right? Talking about your wife. Giving honor unto the wife, referencing her, right? As unto the weaker vessel, right? So that doesn't mean that you have a wife and you beat her ass and treat her, belittle her and make her, Yeah, Jake was doing that. This is why he had to bring this out. Because of the power issues, And everybody knows it. Science even know it. But no, through the problems of Eve and society, they have to take that negative and switch it and make it seem like they're that vulnerable, they're that weak and messed up that they have to be raised up on top. When meanwhile, they should never get themselves in that predicament in the first place. But there's no guidance. There's no discipline. Okay, let's go to Titus 2:4. It says, they that may teach it says that they, let me go to 2:1. 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior and become of holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young woman to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. So I wonder how much confusion would be out there in the world if this actually took place. If everybody followed this situation, followed the truth, the way, according to the way the Lord pronounced it, we know that's not going to happen because the Lord is causing the confusion. What would be happening? Would you have to get men's groups? Would you have to get the feminist groups? You can't, it's crazy. As I said before, you go into all the institutions, you know who's working up in there. Men had a workout gym. They can't even have that no more because the feminists jump up, scream, we need this and that. But you know who funds it? The same people who fund Black Lives Matter. It's all where the money go. But you know who don't subscribe to that? To the people who funds it. Them old elites. They will never subscribe to that behavior. They put it on everybody else so they can stand clear. What you have to understand, especially in the truth, if you're just waking up to the truth, that you will never you will never run the earth. You were never meant to run the earth. You will run it you will run it, but you will run it with the head, which will be your husband. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.